Hello, how you doing? Mike Bradley. Hope you are doing well as always. So happy New Year 2023. If you're watching this live, we're a few days in to the new year. Hope you had a great Christmas. I've certainly been enjoying the time off and spending time with friends, family, all that kind of stuff. If you're in the UK though, there is a nasty lurgy going around, and in the room next to me is my wife, who is currently dying from this lurgy, the poor thing. So if you can hear the few odd coughs, that unfortunately is my dear Laura. Now for today, I wanted to do something which I haven't done in a long time, and I thought it's about time I talk about my guitar collection. Now you can see some guitars there, and I've got guitars off camera. I might have to do a little bit of manoeuvring so we can have a look. But I think the last time I did this would have been 2015, 2014. I need to look online at some of my old videos to find out. But I thought, as we're in a new year, we're kicking off a new year, 2023. Let's talk about the guitars I have now, because what I love about guitars, they all have a story. And I'm pretty sure actually all my guitars have a story, because some of these have been with me for over 20 years. So let's dive right into it. But before we do, if you haven't already, do please consider subscribing. It all really means a lot. And it'd be good to kind of get boosted up a little bit this year, you know. And also, if you don't know, I do have music on Spotify and other sources of getting music, and this is going to be the year of music for little old strange Mike Bradley. So to talk about myself in the third person. So yeah, if you're on Spotify or if you want to get actual physical music, you can go on my website. And if you haven't done so, subscribe to this strange YouTube channel for more goodness by little old me. So let's kick things off, and there's a guitar over here which is off camera, which is a dear friend. This is my Taylor Acoustic. It is a 114 CE, and as you hopefully can see in the camera, she's certainly been played. I mean, down this part here, it's, you know, basically down to the wood. Whereas it's gone past the wood, like chunks of wood have come off this. I got this in August 2012, and I was down Denmark Street with a good mate of mine, Sam, who's actually appeared on the channel a few times. And back then we would meet up in Denmark Street a lot and just go through the guitar shops and have a few beers. They had a bar down there which for the life of me has gone out of my mind. And was it, oh god, what's it called? No, it's gone. But there was if you go to Denmark Street a lot, you had Hank's, and then there was a bar, the 12 bar, that's what it was called. So we'd usually go in the guitar shops, go in the guitar shop, come out, go and have a beer, come back out, yada yada yada. And we were going, so this is all, yeah, August 2012. And we were originally going up there to meet a mate of ours, a guy called Pete, who now everyone knows as Danish Pete. But back then Pete was working in West Side as Monk's doing all his session stuff. And we were going to chat about some Martin and Sigma guitars. And Pete, I don't think he was in that day, or something happened. So we didn't meet up that day. And so Sam and I were just going through the guitar shops and having a few beers and chatting the craziness what we do. And I had to shoot back for something. It was getting in the afternoon now, and I thought, oh, we haven't gone in this one. I think it was Rose Morris, and we went in there and we saw War Taylors, and I picked this up and Sam picked up his one, and it was like, this is out of tune, hideously out of tune. But I strummed an E chord in tune, and I was like, oh no. And by of course I was about 6 pints in at this point as well, but I was just like, this, I have to have this. This is my guitar. One of those things again, you know, where you play a guitar, it's like, no, this is mine. And so me being me, did a little bit of haggling, because Sam ended up buying one as well, and got a little bit knocked off because we bought two guitars, and we left, giggling like small school children. And she's been my best friend ever since. I've written many songs on this, and I've done some cool sessions and TV sessions. It's been on TV with me quite a few times, and I love it. It's my go-to guitar, really. You know, certainly acoustic guitar. Well, I've only got 3, but you know, I play this guitar, and it's not very expensive. I think I got paid £715 for it, which is still a chunk of change, but in guitar terms, you know, it's under £1,000, you know. But I just adore it, and I love the fact it's getting more worn kind of every time I play it. It's really starting to go there, like I say, all around there it's gone. There, up here we got somewhere at the top there. So yeah, that's my Taylor 114 CE. I adore it, and yeah, even when I go away on holiday and stuff, this comes with me. And you know, I wrote The Devil's on My Side on this song, and actually all the songs which are out on my 2 previous EPs were all written on this guitar. It all started on this, and then you take it, thank you email, you take it further. So this is my Taylor 114 CE. Right, let's go to the rack. So the first one here, if you are a regular viewer, you will recognise this. This is the Bradcaster. And if you're a new viewer, you're probably going to think, how cheesy is this guy? But let me explain a little bit. So this was born in 2020, that infamous year 2020. And this all kind of came about, actually, kind of lockdown, kind of. So I've got videos talking about this. I've got a little playlist, like the Strat build, so by all means check it out. But as quick as I can, it will run through of it. In January 2020, I was coming back from the NAMM show, and I was at LAX waiting to get my flight and whatnot, and I got a bit of lunch, and I bumped into a friend of mine called Brian, who works at Hampstead Amps, and he's a great guitar player himself, session player. I ended up having lunch and that, him and another guy, I've forgotten his name, bless him, Chris I think his name was, and we were just chatting as you do, and he was saying like, oh Mike, you're getting to like doing some parts casters. I was like, what do you mean? He goes, well, you can buy a body from guitarbuild.co.uk, I think they were called, and get a neck built and yada yada yada, and it, you know, works out better. I was like, all right. So that was January 2020, and then the pandemic happened, and so we're all just sitting around not doing much. And I think it was around May, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get a guitar built. So I went online on guitarbuild.co.uk, I think it was. This isn't a plug, by the way, that's the actual name of the company, guitarbuild.co.uk. And I saw like you could buy a body and it wasn't very expensive. So I think I paid 130, something like that, for the body. There's a cough, poor girl. And maybe more, I can't remember exactly. If you watch the previous videos, you'll see what I mean. And I contacted Darren from Daniel's Guitars, and I said, mate, I've got an idea. I want to build a Strat. Can you help me out? And he's like, yeah, I can. I was like, great. And so I said, I want it charcoal frost metallic, because I was thinking sunburst or something like that, but I was like, you know what, I love charcoal frost metallic. I've always loved it since I was a kid. And I love a tortoiseshell guard, and I want it single hum. And that's what I got. So she's about 2.5 years old now. It's finishing nitrocellulose, and I don't know if if it doesn't pick up on the camera, I will try and do some pickies on top of this. But it's really cracked. The nitro has really cracked on this, and the back's getting a bit of wear and tear now, and the front's slowly coming through with some pick wear and stuff like that. And it's a great sounding guitar, you know. I've learned a lot through this in what I like in a guitar, in a Strat. So that, in that aspect, it's been a really good learning curve, kind of getting this done. But it sounds great. A couple of things with it. It's incredibly heavy. I actually weighed it the other day, and this is 8.4 pounds. which for a Strat is certainly heavy. It's kind of a Les Paul territory. I know the 70 Strats, with some of them are like £9 and things like that. So it is a beast, literally. 8.4 is, like I say, Les Paul territory, really, isn't it? But not only is it heavy, the neck is really big. And I actually got Darren to take it down a bit for me because it was incredibly fat this way and really big width ways as well. And I like a bit of girth that way, but I don't like it too big this way, you know, especially because I play a lot of my thumb and things like that. And he did take it down a bit for me, but it is still mighty, mighty big. And so it's a big neck and it's really heavy. But it sounds great. The original pickups which were on these were Mojo pickups. I had some Fender custom shop in there for a bit. I was ABing them, that's right. And then the Mojos were great when I was playing at home. But when I took it out, when the world opened up and I could play it live and with a drummer and things like that, the pickups squealed like a pig. Especially that humbucker, it was, you couldn't play it live. And I got chatting with Matt from Monty's about it, and he's like, come down, and I did a video about that as well, actually. So it's on my channel. I'll put a tag up if you want to check it out. So now I've got some Monty pickups in. I forget which ones it'll be in that video I did with him, but they're lovely. I will say, this guitar, I mean, the pick dust which is in this at the moment is a lot, because I destroy picks when I play this. Now the pickups are not that high, but for some reason I just, the pick will be, I'll have a brand new pick at the beginning of a gig and then it'll be so chewed up afterwards. To the point where, I mean, about a year and a bit old, I've had these pickups in. And on this neck pickup, again, I don't think it's gonna come through here. Let's see if I can. But on the bottom bit, it's really chewed up quite significantly. So that's how much I'm kind of digging away at it, you know. So, but yeah, no, it's a great guitar. I love it. It's just literally a beast. So there's the front, there's the back, which is getting a bit, like I say, worn there, which is cool. We like that. It's got 5 springs. I do think 5 springs actually sound a bit better on the Strat. I've got it floating because I like that, but yeah, I think it sounds better having the 5 springs, and it looks cooler. I mean, Jimmy and Stevie did it as well. So, but yeah, the Bradcaster, great guitar. I get asked actually a lot about the strap. It's a Moody strap I've got on this guitar, but it fluctuates with different guitars. What my wife got me for a birthday about 7 years ago, I think. So yeah, I love it. It's one of my favourites. So am I missing anything about the Bradcaster? Don't think so. No, it even has Bradcaster on the headstock. And but yeah, like I say, it's just a beast of a guitar. 8.4 pounds, a huge neck. I may get it taken down a bit with the neck again. We'll see. But you know, for a guitar which, you know, probably cost me less than £1,000 to put together, you can't complain about. So that's the Bradcaster. Right, next on this rack here, we've got my Yamaha Revstar. I forget, is there a model number on there? RS720B. The B will stand for Bixby. And this is a great guitar. This guitar actually will always mean a hell of a lot to me, because this is the first guitar ever given to me by a company. You know, being a musician, a full-time musician, a working musician, you get to, you know, down the road work with different companies and stuff, especially now with, you know, doing YouTube and social media and things like that. The new media, really, isn't it? Social media and YouTube. And the Yamaha guys, we connected, I think it was April 2018. I remember having my first meeting with Mark and Joe at Yamaha. Lovely guys, and it was a really fun meeting. I remember it was I think it was a day before Good Friday, and we just ended up having a bit of a drinking session. Actually, it was quite a lot of fun, and we just kept saying it's what Jesus would want. So, but yeah, so I met them there, and then they sent me this guitar a couple of weeks after that. And so I did some videos with it, used it live a lot as well. And then we did a live event for them in August of 2018, where I kind of took over their socials for the day and did a load of filming at the London HQ of Yamaha, the flagship store in Soho. And in the evening, we put on a gig, and it was a great night. It was really, really cool. And it was after that gig, when literally I just came off the stage pretty much, and Joe and Mark said, "That's your guitar now." And it really meant a lot to me, and it still means a lot to me, because I'd never been given a guitar by a company before. And I remember when I got sent this, like what I was saying about my Taylor and all my guitars really, you know, when they sent it to me, I'd been sent guitars in the past by companies, but I remember playing this one thinking, this is mine. I like this. You know, and I'd liked all the previous ones, but again, that's the thing with guitars, you know, some of them just speak to you, you know. And I remember just playing it, and I was like, oh, I really like this one. I hope I get to keep it. And I think it looks really cool. It's just a cool looking guitar. So I used it recently on a session actually, and I had to put new strings on, and I hadn't changed the strings for quite a while. And obviously it's a Bigsby and it's very fiddly. So I remember a few choice words were coming out. But yeah, as I say, so I still use it in a working world. I haven't gigged with it. Actually, no, I did one gig, and then he said this year, technically last year, I did one gig with it in 2022. I did like a rock theatre show. I got asked to play, and I played it a couple of times there. I needed an E flat guitar, and I had this in E flat. So yeah, that's the Yamaha. Look at it, beautiful looking guitar. That's the front, that's the back. No wear there. A few little buckle rashes going on, but it's just a very good looking guitar, I personally think. So the Yamaha Revstar. Right, next to that is my dear old friend. We've been through a lot together, me and this guitar. This is my Fender Strat Plus, 1996 Fender Strat Plus, which I've had from new since 1998. I was very much a young boy when I got it, and I saved up my paper round money, and I got this guitar. Well, I know exactly where I got this from, that little company called Anderton's, a little guitar shop, and I saved, like I say, saved up my paper round money, and then my auntie, because I was very young, and my auntie got it for me on hire purchase and under her name, and I was paying her back. And you know, I did school plays and the productions with it and things like that, little concerts at school with it, and it's gone from that to pub gigs, to playing Shepherd Bush Empire, to TV stuff, to festivals, to all sorts of things, you know. And yeah, it's been from my bedroom at home to all sorts of places. So it's a great guitar. I love it. Everything in it is 100% stock. The only thing which is new is the frets. I got it refretted a couple of years ago because they were very, very flat. It's got the gold lace sensors. What's funny about this is that you can see these two are kind of yellowed, and this is white. Because when I was gigging, you could, in the early years when I was 16, 17, 18 onwards, you could still smoke in bars and clubs. So obviously my hand was over there, and it was all yellowed from all that disgusting nicotine smoke in the air, and that didn't get it as much. But oh man, it just is still one of my favourite Strats. You know, I wish it was finished in nitro cellulose, because it would be looking very cool. It's got lots of little dings. That ding there, where are we on the camera? There we go. That ding there, I remember doing when I was at the ACM in Guildford when I was 16. And if you've ever been to Guildford, you've got a place called Electric Theatre. and that's where we had like our live performance workshops and business studies. And I was at the back, and I got up and I knocked the guitar or something, and it smashed into a radiator, and I was heartbroken. But now it just takes you back to, you know, 20 years ago of seeing that, you know, and reminds me of that. But it's got lots and lots of little things on it. There's the back, the back plate. I lost, oh man, it would have been 2004. I was doing a gig at a place called The Sound in Leicester Square, kind of a medium-sized club, and just before going on, I had snapped the string, and then it got caught in the hole, as it does. So it was like 10 minutes before we going on. So I was like, has anybody got a screwdriver? So I unscrewed it, and then got the string, hooked it out. We've all been there. And then put a new string on, and then we were going on. So I'm like stretching it as I'm walking onto the stage. And all the screws I just put in my pocket of my jeans. And I had one of those massive flip phones at the time when video calling first started. Again, this is 2004, one of those big flip phones. And I hate playing with stuff in my pocket, so I would have got on stage, took my phone and wallet out of my pocket and put it on the amp. When I got home, I was like, oh yeah, let me put the back plate on. And I put my hand in my pocket, and there was one screw. So when I took the phone out, all the screws must have come out. So it's been off ever since then. So 2004 to, oh goodness gracious, 19 years nearly. But yeah, it's got a bit of buckle rash. You can see a little bit of wood coming through there in the back. So, you know, the fact that this is poly just goes to show how much this has been played. The neck has got some, you know, little bit of wear on the back and things like that. Yeah, it's a great sounding guitar. I still play it to this day, and I will do so until I can't play anymore. So that's my Strat Plus. Right, next one. So this here is my Ernie Musicman Cutlass. Beautiful guitar. I call this the Strat Killer because it's one of the best Strats I've heard, certainly heard anyway, you know, and it's not a Strat. It's so lovely and clean. It's what you want a nice Strat to be like, you know. I got this in, well, it's a funny story. So I got it in 2018. The tail went, so I think I officially had it in December 2018. Again, this was a gift from Ernie Ball, and a few months after the Revstar actually. And I signed up with Ernie Ball and whatnot, and they sent me this guitar, and I did a video of it, I think called the Strat Killer, and then had it for a bit, and then I sent it back. They sent me a couple other guitars to do videos with, sent it back, but there was something with this which I just loved. Again, just like with the Revstar, like with all my guitars, I played it and I was just like, oh man, I really like this one, you know, this feels like my guitar. And I remember Dan at Ernie Ball / Strings and Things messaging me saying, look, I can sort something out with you for the Musicman. I said, mate, I can't afford it. You know what I mean? I'm sure you can, but even if you were to do 50% off for something, I can't afford it, you know. And then he phoned me up a few days later and basically said, look, we want you to have it, you know. So it again, meant a lot to me and still means a lot to me. And I play this guitar a lot. Hell of a lot actually. I gig this guitar a lot. I've recorded with it a lot. It's a great guitar, and certainly become one of my main guitars, you know. It's a really nice guitar. The neck feels just right. I love the natural finish. It's got the wax finish on it, isn't it? And I love that, I really do. You know, Musicman necks, a lot of people always say about being too small. If there is ever a little complaint about Musicman guitars, and to be honest, there's not many, because all their guitars sound amazing. Huge fan of Musicman guitars, but I don't mind it. I like it. I really do. You know, it's got a bit of chunk there. and it's slimmer this way. It'd be nice if it's a little bit bigger, if it was just a little bit more width to it. Here's me complaining about the Bradcaster being too width and his just being too small, but it's all little minute things we like in guitars. But honestly, it sounds so good. I can deal with it being a little bit small, you know. It's an asymmetrical neck as well, so as you go down it gets a bit fatter. But it's beautiful. Everything is 1,000,000,000% stock. I remember it's got a battery in it which lasts, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours. Again, I remember in lockdown, and I would, you know, play it and I'll leave the guitar plugged in. And after having the guitar for about 2.5 years or something, I was like, oh, it feels a bit weird. I was like, oh yeah, the battery, could I have been leaving it in while I've been playing it at home, could be in lockdown. So I've changed the battery once since December 2018 of officially having it. I think they sent me the guitar in like September, October, I think. It's hard to remember. But it officially became mine December 2018. So I've only changed the battery once. So so far it seems alright. But great guitar. There's the front. There's the back. Look at the neck. Oh, sexy bit of wood there, isn't it? Got a little bit of buckle rash going on at the back there. I think the only major ding I've done is on the headstock. There's a couple of little ding, you know, just what happens on gigs, you know. But she's pretty good shape still. But I love it. The Musicman Cutlass. I can't recommend these guitars enough. They're amazing guitars. Right, ticking on. Right, so here's my old Strat. It's a 1999 American Standard Strat, which I got, I can remember, in February 2002. So nearly 21 years I've had this guitar next month. It's had a bit of a story this past year, this guitar. So when I got it, I remember this, again, 2002, so was eBay around then? I can't remember, but there was over here in the UK, there was a paper called The Loot, this big paper where people, basically what Gumtree is now on eBay, but it was a paper. In America, you've got like the Recycler, haven't you, and stuff like that. And other countries will have the same thing. But I wanted another Strat with a maple fingerboard. And so, oh, bit of a gig bag fluff. And so I went on there and typed Fender Strat, and there was no picture, but this, a block of text came up saying Fender American Strat, USA Standard. I think the guy wanted 380, I think he advertised, but it was just that. And he lived near Thorpe Park, which is a big kind of roller coaster amusement park, near about half an hour from me at the time. So I drove there. I think I just started driving as well, and I drove there, and he was moving to America, and I was a teenager still, and he was moving to America, and I didn't know what I was doing. I took my tuner and like checked the intonation and things like that, and I said, "Oh, I'll give you $350 for it cash," and that was that. And I used it a hell of a lot in my kind of late teens, early 20s, and then it kind of just would waver in and out. And then what happened? That's right. Then the pickups got changed. I had some Fender noiseless for so long. Then I was going to do a signature set of pickups with a company, and we did about 3 prototypes, and I still wasn't liking them. And then the kind of conversation and communication just dissolved, basically. And then I got chatting with Dave at Eternal Guitars, and I did some stuff with him, and he said, "Look, do you want me to sort out some pickup?" I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, can I get some of your pickups? And also, it needs a refret, because it's just, it's over 20 years of playing it. It was just so flat that the guitar was dead, it had no life in it." So he put some of his pickups in, which are like kind of 59-esque inspired, I believe. And then when he did the refret, load of lacquer came off. So he said, "Look, I'm gonna have to refinish the fingerboard for you." So we did that in nitro cellulose, and I got it back, and I was just like, "Oh, hello." And I recently just posted a Riviera Paradise playing it, and the guitar just sounds so lovely now. So yeah, really fell back in love with it. Well, here's the front, here's the back. As I just turn it round to the back, you might be able to see, if I can get the light right, a crack down there. I think that's coming, yeah, there you go. So that came about, it would have been 2006, I remember doing a gig, and this used to always snap strings. And no, it wouldn't be 2006, it would have been 2004, and or 3 maybe. But it used to always snap strings. I remember we were doing a showcase, my old band Biff Tech. We were doing a showcase, and the singer came out and he played guitar as well. Kind of did a riff, and then I hit an E power chord kind of thing. And as I did that, the 6 string snapped. And this guitar has always been floating. And so the whole guitar went out of tune. And I was so I tried going through it, doing the riff, and it wasn't happening. And so I was just so angry, I took it off and I threw it into the wall. And it was all right, apart from this crack in the paint, you know, because it's the polyurethane. It's this colour always throws me. People ask what colour it is. I used to call it Lake Placid Blue, but I know it's not Lake Placid Blue. It's kind of like an aqua, kind of, you know, bluey green thing, you know. But I love it. I really, really do. Bit of belt buckle rash on the back there. Few little chips here and there, as you can imagine from a 21-year-old guitar. And I'm looking forward to, as time goes on, seeing the fingerboard wear probably, because I say the fingerboard now finished in nitro cellulose. But yeah, great guitar. I love it, and I love it even more with these upgrades what Dave at Eternal Guitars has done for me. So yeah, beautiful guitar. So it's my Fender 99 American Standard Strat. Right, next one, another dear friend. This is my Telecaster. I often call this guitar Lola. And it's a 2010 Fender American USA Standard, but it's when they did the 60th anniversary model. So they said at the time it's finishing nitro cellulose, but it's not proper nitro cellulose because it hasn't checked at all. And I got this July 3rd, 2011, I can remember. So, but it's not poly, it's not nitro, it's some weird thing, because it does wear. Lots of little chips on the side. You can see where I've been playing. There's a nice worn out spot where I rest my hand, and yeah, it's certainly, you know, you can see it's been played. Oh yeah, I forgot I got that. I lost a screw at a gig about a month or 2 ago, and I just had to, the show must go on, so until I can find another swatch, I need 2 screws. One's gone, the other one's hanging in there, but it's lost its thread. So yes, I need to get that sorted. But yeah, lots of wear, chips, things, all that kind of stuff going on there. Hopefully it's been picked up on the camera here. But look at that, that's a bit of a chunk has come out there. And it's been refretted. Actually, Dave at Eternal Guitars refretted this, I think, in 2019, I think. Because I played it a lot, you know. The fingerboard's starting to go there, the kind of classic fingerboard wear. It's a great guitar. Any claims to fame with this? It was, actually, it was 10 years ago this month. I was in a TV advert playing this guitar, coming out of this smoky dungeon for Peachy Cash Loans. I don't think it's on YouTube anymore. It used to be, but yeah, I did that with it, and it got seen. I remember when that advert came out, my phone kind of blowing up because it was played a lot, the advert. So like, Michael, just seen you on TV playing your telly, you know. So no, it's a great guitar. I love this. This is certainly one of my top 3 guitars. It gets used a lot, and yeah, I adore it. Everybody needs a Telecaster, and this is a good one. Oh, I should say as well, yeah, the pickups. So these are the 3rd set of pickups, technically. So the first set obviously was what the guitar came with. Then I had some Seymour Duncans in it because they sent me some pickups. And so they were Tele pickups, and I had a Telecaster, so I put them in this. And they were alright. And then when I met Dave at Turner Guitars, we got chatting and he put in some of his pickups in there. I forget the names. I know one's called a Turbo T. I think that's the Turbo T. And that's his Telecaster neck, what he does. I do forget. I apologise, Dave, if you're watching. But I love them. They'll never come out. That back pickup is a minx. It's an amazing pickup. So yeah, I love it to bits. So yeah, they're staying put, that's for damn sure. So that's my Telly, that's Lola. I adore this guitar. Right, next one, from Fenders to Gibson. So this here is my Gibson Les Paul Standard. It's a 2002. I got this, oh, that's a new ding. Prove I haven't picked this up for a couple of weeks. I must have dinged that at the, yeah, it's just a little dent in this, probably not being picked up in the light. But I must have dinged it at the last gig. Shit. Anyway, I'll deal with it. I'll get over it. It's got loads of dings. But sorry, so this is a 2002 Les Paul Standard, which I got brand new in November 2003. So later this year, it will be 20 years I've had it. I got it at Guitar Village in Farnham. Great shop, actually, really cool shop. And I remember A-Bing it with another Les Paul for a good hour or so. It's in the early 2000s when Gibson kind of changed and got better. And they did like a 50 style and a 60 style, they called it. And this was the 60 style. That being said, I played 60 style necks and they're really skinny. This is not skinny, but it's certainly not fat like what a 58 inspired neck would be, or a 59 inspired neck. But I call this the Beast. I've called it the Beast since I kind of got it because it sounded like a beast. And then a few years later, I found out there's a very famous Les Paul owned by the great Bernie Marsden called the Beast. But I say there's more than one, no, two Pauls in the world, or the amount of people called John or Mary or Jane. So, you know, I've called it the Beast since I was 18, 19 years old. I can carry on. So, but yeah, so great guitar. It hasn't had its plastic pickup toggle switch tip for ages. It disintegrated in my hand when I was playing once. Literally disintegrated. So yeah, I tried ordering one, and then it just never came. Again, I ordered one about 2 years ago, and they were just out of stock. So I'm gonna try again because it would be nice. These are Monty's Paths. What he does. I put these in 2017, and I love them. Especially on the back pickup, it just smooths it out a little bit more. And again, this is going to be nitro, but proper nitro would have cracked a long time ago, like my Bradcaster. This guitar is, you know, coming up to 20 years old, and there's no checking at all. But there's lots of dings. There's the back, nice bit of belt buckle rash going on there, and the wood's starting to go as well. It's not quite like Slash's back. Have you seen that video he did with Gibson going through his collection? It's amazing. If you haven't seen it, please do. And his old 87 or 88 Les Paul is just thrashed, you know. But I've snapped the headstock twice on it. There's the seam there, what you can kind of see, and once in 2006, and then I snapped it again, I think early 2013, I think so. Yeah, 10 years ago. And you know, it's been around. Oh yeah, the thread in the screws went on that a little while ago as well, so that hasn't had its cover for a while. I just kept it off because that would always spin round, so I just kept it off. But I love it. I use it a lot. I probably have done about 50 gigs alone this year, or 2022. did about 50 gigs using this, so and lots of recording sessions. So yeah, it's certainly been played for that way. So this is my beast, the little beast, then I should call it, the Les Paul 2002 Les Paul Standard. Love it. Now, talking of loving, this is probably my favourite guitar. This is my Gibson 345. There she is in this camera here. I absolutely adore this guitar. So I got this January 2016, so 17, 18, 19, 21, 2, 3. Bloody hell, 7 years, man. January the 16th. I just got a thing with dates. I can remember dates. I always say about this guitar that it doesn't have a bad note. There's no bad note on it. If there is a bad note, it's because of user error. So, yeah, I've had it a while now, which it doesn't seem it, but it really is. And I can remember the day vividly. Quick little story. Well, first of all, it's a 2015 guitar, and it's based on a 1964 custom shop Gibson ES345. Yeah, quick little story of it in case you didn't know it. At the time when me and my then girlfriend, now my wife, our first flat we had together, we were about an 8-minute walk from Guitar, a big guitar shop, retail shop in England. It's like 8-10 minute walk, and they were doing like a Gibson road show for the weekend or something, and I saw it, I thought, oh, I might pop along. And on the Friday, I don't know, in the morning I walked down there, and I think it was just after NAMM, I think. I hadn't gone to NAMM that year, but it was just after it. And I just got chatting to one of the guys there and looking around and that. And I said, and I've been wanting a 335 or guitar like this for 20 years at the time. Now, since I started playing guitar, I just always loved these guitars. And I'm a huge Back to the Future fan as well. And I just got chatting to the guy there, and he goes, oh, play one. I said, oh no, don't worry about it, mate. No, I don't want to play one. Because I was worried that if I do. And he said, oh, stop being silly. And he passed me a guitar, and I was playing it. I was like, oh, it's all right. And he walked away. And then another guy came over, and I kind of handed the guitar to him. I said, oh, the neck's like that, because it was quite a skinny neck. And then this guitar was on the wall. Handed it to me, and I was just like, oh, that's more like it. Play the E chord, I was like, oh no. 3.5 hours later, I'm still in the guitar shop playing this, and the price tag was just dangling. It was like, it was over £3,000. And I was just like, it went from I really like this guitar to I need this guitar to this is my guitar. But, you know, there's that price tag just dangling at you. So I had to go, I had a lesson. And I jotted down the serial number just in case, you know. And then I was walking back to our place, and I phoned up Laura. And I said, I've just played the guitar. It's the best guitar I've ever played in my life. Oh my God. Blah, blah, blah. And she was like, oh, why don't you buy it? I said, what do you mean? And she's like, when do you get it? You got savings? I said, yeah, but that's for our mortgage and things like that. She said, well, you can pay yourself back. And I was like, well, I can, can't I? And then I'd filmed myself playing it, and I was showing some pupils in it. And I spoke to my dad, I phoned my mum up, spoke to some mate, and I was like, and I remember Laura was out that night, and I thought, if I wake up tomorrow morning with that same giddy feeling, I'm going to buy it. And I woke up, and I had that giddy feeling. And so I bought it, and it's been with me ever since. I remember the day I got it, I did a gig of it that night. I was like, you are earning your keep. So it's an amazing guitar. I love it to bits. It's just, you know, it's got a bit of wear and tear on it now. Just a few little scuffs, nothing serious. I remember, and this camera has just died on me, unfortunately, but I remember I dropped it, and on the binding there, it was like someone bit into it, and the lovely Roger, who I've known for years and years and years, he sorted it out for me and just kind of filed it down a bit, you know, and so it's nice and smooth. But it's got a few little it's a war tail in it, you know. you know, I don't mind my guitars getting dinged, but this one I'm still a bit precious with, but there to be played, you know. So it has got player wear now, and the gold is starting to come off there, you know. Yeah, it's a great guitar. I love it to bits, and I call it Alan McFly because McFly, got a Marty McFly, and my guitar teacher when I was a kid was a guy called Alan Pinches, who unfortunately is no longer with us, but he had a Gibson 335, I think from the 70s. I never really asked him, but thinking back, it was from the 70s. So probably my favourite guitar, my Gibson 345. Right, the last one in this rack is another oldie. They're all oldies really. This guitar I've had over 20 years. This is a Takamine EGS 430SC. I wonder if the SC stands for single cut, who knows. I haven't played this guitar in a long time. The dust will stand by that. I got this guitar, when would I have got this? Either 2002 or 2003. It's hard to remember now. But it's let's call it 20 years, maybe nearly 21 years old. I got it in, actually it was 2002, because I remember when I got my Taylor in 2012, this was 10 years old. So there you go. So it's nearly 21 years old. I got it in Chandler's, which was a very famous guitar shop in Richmond. And it was kind of my only guitar. Actually, I should say the only other guitar I don't have here, which is mine obviously, is my first guitar. That's at my mother's house. And that's a 40-minute drive away, so we won't worry about that at the moment. But I played this a hell of a lot in the 10 years when it was my main acoustic guitar. And you know, there's some wear and tear going there, up there. Actually, a bit, looks like a more stabbing than anything, and some wear mark there. You know, it's gone from kind of a matte finish to like a satiny finish there, where my arm's been on it. Similar thing with a few of my guitars. You can kind of see where I've been resting. There's like a wear bit there, and it's similar wear marks to my Taylor acoustic, actually, really. But not as much. I'd say the Taylor's actually probably more worn than this. It needs a good refret. I mean, if I can focus in around that second fret bit there, you can really see it's really worn out. You know, really needs a bit of a, it needs a lot of work actually. It needs a good service. The action, you know, I could just get my little finger under. So the neck needs a bit of adjusting. It needs either a refret or a fret dress, I don't know, but lots of early memories, you know, learning to write songs, stuff like that. It does sound good, but it needs a bit of work, you know, so it's not sounding great at the moment. But the strings on this are probably about 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, bless her. So I might get Dave at Eternal Guitars to look at this at some point and give her a bit of lease of life, you know. I think I remember rightly, I think I paid about 600 and something for this. So again, not mega expensive, still a chunk of change, but not massively expensive in guitar world. But it means a lot to me. So yeah, I had 10 years of playing this solidly, and then my Taylor came along, and for the last 10 years that's been my solid one. So it probably means every 10 years I get a new acoustic. Who knows what happens this year. So there you go, my Takamine acoustic guitar. Right, another part of the room which you don't really get to see much, but I thought it'd be easier. So I've got another little rack here, but first I have a guitar right in front of me. This here is my Lava ME3, I don't want to say acoustic guitar, carbon fibre guitar. I did a video this little while ago, but it's certainly still mine. And it's quite cool. You can turn it on, and what's the thing, you can turn it on. There's like, it's basically, what did I call the video? It's like, is this guitar from the future? So you've got a little kind of touch screen there, and you can get all kind of effects going on with it. You can get little sound coming out now. Get all effects with it. You can put backing tracks on, drum beats, all these kind of things. There you go. So while this loads up, and then I can tune the guitar, but if I go here and go, let's go to effects, bit of reverb. Oh, my battery, it needs charging. Stuff, but yeah, the battery is dead in it, so it needs charging. But it's a cool little guitar. There you go. And it's made of carbon fiber. You can see there. So yeah, it's like something what Apple would have made or something like that, wouldn't it? So that's the Lava ME3. Right, let's go here, shall we? So this guitar is my Yamaha Pacifica 112. Which I've had 25 years now. November 1997 I got this, and this was my third guitar, my second electric guitar, though I kind of class it as my first one. The first electric guitar I had was like a Telecaster copy of, if you know Keith Richards' black custom Telecaster he's got, with the big scratch plate, toggle switch up there, and kind of a Les Paul configuration, you know, 2 tones, 2 volumes, humbucker, and then the Tele single coil, but by a company called C-Mac, and I got that like in the February of 97 and sold it in the October, November of 97, and sold it for like £40. And then I went to the Wembley Guitar Show that year in 97 and bought this, and for like £150 or something like that. And I wanted one of these. I didn't want a Squire. I loved the Strat, you know, and I loved the Strat shape and whatnot. But I didn't want a Squire because I knew that I would be looking at the headstock and thinking, it doesn't say Fender, it says Squire. But I remember seeing this in Total Guitar magazine and just thinking it looked so cool. And funny with the Bradcaster, you know, single hum, I went that way with that, you know. Lots of play wear on it. Some of this I don't think was all me. That was probably from a pupil. When students would come to the house without a guitar, I'd let them play this. Lots of chunks all around the side. That I think is from tapping out beats. I did gig this in the very early years, so there's quite a bit of buckle rash here. You can't really see it probably in the light, but there is a lot of buckle rash and a lot of scratches actually on the back. Might be coming up there, who knows, I can't see that far, but there's a lot of scratches on the back. So yeah, in the early Biff Tech years, I would take this for gigs. And the last thing on it, there's that, and that is a solder mark. God bless him, a lovely guy I would teach. He bought his soldering kit round once because this was out of action for a long time, needed soldering. And he said, look, I'll solder it for you. And he was soldering in the room I used to teach at back at my dad's house, and he dropped a bit of solder on it. So I don't mind because it all tells a story. One big story there is that there. Can you see that kind of yellowy gash? Well, it's not, it was a gash, it's now a touch up. I had a bit of plastic surgery done to it. I remember I went to my guitar lesson. My guitar lesson was always Monday at 4 o'clock, and my dad would pick me up in his van and we would go, and came back, got home, get out the van, and the strap on my gig bag snapped. and it smashed on the floor. It was a very thin gig bag I had, and this was just all smashed in, and I was gutted. And my granddad, God bless him, he kind of fixed it for me. He did that, and so I'm guessing he got some kind of potty filler and then varnished it. But unfortunately, my granddad's no longer with us, so when I look at that, it makes me think of him. You know, it's almost like a birthmark or something there now, you know. So, yeah, I don't mind it at all now, you know, it makes me think of Granddad. But lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of hours played on this. I say I was, God, what was I, 12 or something when I got this, 13. And then the following year I got my Strat Plus. I got that in '98, but I still play this a lot. I remember when this was the first guitar I got on a whammy bar, and I learned the Top Gun theme. And it could have the whammy bar going on, Steve Stevens, you know. So my Yamaha Pacifica, lot of cherished memories on this guitar. Right, the next one we got is a guitar I won. This is a Sterling Musicman AX40, and it's still got all the plastic stuff it comes with on the back there. You can see I would have won this in 2014. I went to London Guitar Show, and my mate Stu kind of pushed me up, and now I kind of do stuff with them. But Strings and Things, who are part of Ernie Ball, did this kind of duel with the devil, and you got to get up and shred with the devil. I now know the guy, but I didn't at the time. He's got a devil mask, and I got up right at the end of the day. I don't like putting myself forward for things like this or anything like that. I get all coy, believe it or not. But I got up and played with him, and somehow I won, and they gave me this guitar. So I have used it in some YouTube videos before. I have, very early days. You'd have to go and hunt through kind of the early years of doing YouTube videos. But it's got a Floyd. It's got the same strings on it, because Floyds are a nightmare to try and change strings. I've never done it. It's been sitting in a case for many years, if I'm honest. And when we moved house here last year, I got all the guitars from my dad's house and brought them here, and it's now in the rack. So, but when I have played it, it's been very nice. But especially, I think it's £500 like that. But it looks cool. It's Eddie Van Halen influence, obviously, and yeah, I should really put some new strings on it and get shredded. Sorry, I forget what camera I'm looking at here, so I've got 2 pointing at me. I should be Van Halen, and should be Van Halen. I should get some new strings and have a bash on it, because it would be cool to play actually. So yeah, she's in the rack. I've had it a long time, but I haven't played it in a while either. Naughty. Right, the last few. So here's my Fender American Performer Strat. Beautiful looking guitar with the 70s headstock, and it kind of reminds me a little bit of Richie Sambora, a little bit with the colour. It sounds great. It's currently, yeah, in E flat. Now I've had to, I want to get a new guitar. I want to get a new Strat, which I want to get sorted, and something's got to go. And I have made the heartfelt decision that this guitar is now up for sale. It means a lot to me, this guitar, because it sounds great, it looks great, it feels great. But I've got and the Bradcaster, 3 Strats, and the Musicman. And if I want to get another Strat, I can't. A Strat's got to go, you know, and I don't use this as much. But the reason it really means a lot to me is that this was given to me by Fender. So it means a lot because it was given to me by Fender, you know. But I'm just like, well, if I can use this to help get me a guitar which I'm going to use more than if this was just sitting here, then so be it. It's an E flat at the moment because it's good to have a guitar in E flat, especially with teaching or the recording thing or whatnot. So I do use this still. I haven't used it a ton. I did darken the rosewood board, so my other camera's just died, but I did darken the rosewood board with some Monty's relic wax, which actually has made it pop a lot more now. It's quite nice. But it's a lovely guitar, but it is for sale. So if you are interested, drop me a message and we'll sort something out. But ideally UK based maybe. Yeah, it's a shame, but I really want to get this other thing and to finance it. Something's got to go, you know. So that's the front, that's the back. It's a pretty looking thing. Again, reminds me of Richard Zambora a bit. So it'd be a shame to say goodbye to this, but it will help fund something which I will play a lot more, you know. So yeah, great guitar. Shame to go. It will be going. This could be yours, the Fender Performer Strat. Right, getting near the end. So this here is my Shergold with a bit of dusting. It's got a Seymour Duncan P90 and a Seymour Duncan humbucker. It's not a bad little guitar actually. I've had it a couple of years now. It doesn't get load of playtime if I'm honest. I've used it in a few YouTube videos, but I've never gigged it or anything like that. I'm not a huge fan of the inlays, but I understand what they're doing. You know, it's been a bit different, but I can't say I'm a huge fan of it. But it sounds nice, you know, for a guitar which is under £1,000. Lovely kind of, I like the cream colour, you know, it's cool looking. It's kind of that tele custom look going on about it, isn't it? So this is the Shergold. I forget the model number, what the model is, to be honest. It begins with a P, I remember that. But yeah, I've had it a couple of years now, the Shergold. And I'll put a tag so you can see me playing it as well. I probably should play it a bit more, but my Shergold. And the last guitar here is my D'Angelico. Look at that colour, like a Pelham blue, isn't it? It's a Premier DC Mini, and really cool guitar. I love semi-bodied guitars anyway, and yeah, I've used this quite a bit on YouTube world anyway. I've never used it on a gig. Have I used it on a gig? No, I've done some recording sessions with it, but I've never used it at a gig. I remember the input socket got caught in and having to fish it all out. I took that off and fished it out with like a coat hanger. It was a nightmare, but I did it. And then it fell back in again, so I ended up doing it 2 times. I screwed it in, played with it, and did it again. So, or maybe 3 times, can't remember now. But it's very fiddly trying to get stuff out of there. But it's a very beautiful looking guitar. I did a cool video where I kind of did this against my Gibson 345, and sound wise this really held its own. The neck's very flat. It's a very flat neck. It's not much girth going on there, but it's in tune. My playing isn't though, because I haven't played for a couple of days naughtily. But it's great, very pretty guitar. So that's my last guitar I have here. But as you can see, there is one more naked instrument here, which is well, you can see what it is. This is my Fender bass, jazz bass. Yeah, it is a jazz, and I've had this a couple of years now. I was doing a lot more kind of recording at home after the pandemic and stuff, and I thought it was about time I get a bass guitar. So it's great. I'm still pretty rubbish at bass. Actually, no prettiness about it. I'm pretty rubbish at the bass. I'm very rubbish at the bass, but I can get by. You know, I can wing it when need be. So anytime you hear like backing tracks, what I'm playing over, most of the time it's backing tracks I've done and I'm doing the bass on it. And you can get those backing tracks on my Patreon page / account. If you're interested in supporting me on Patreon, you can. And all the backing tracks on there, and the bass is all done on this guitar. So it's cool. It's yeah, it's a lovely neck on it. It's a Mexican. I forget the model, what it is now, but yeah, Fender Jazz bass, the Mexican one. It's great, lovely kind of satin neck. It's not sticky or anything like that. Good old sunburst. You can't go wrong with a sunburst. And that's all I kind of really know about it. Really, what more is there to say? It hasn't really got a story to it or anything like that, unfortunately. But I did a video when I got it, I remember. So I think that was 2021. Was it 2021? Or 2020? I can't remember now. It's hard to remember. I've had it a good year, maybe knocking on 2, who knows. But the Fender Jazz bass is the last one in my collection. So what's that today? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, the lava. And this makes number 17. So if you're still with me, I have no idea how long this video is going to be. So bless you if you're still with me. And I've had cameras go on me because it's obviously been a long one. So hopefully you've gone through a good couple of cup of teas and enjoyed the geekiness of going through my guitar collection. So let's see what happens, if any new additions in 2020, well, for this year anyway, going into the next one. So maybe I should do this every 12 months or something, you know, or maybe every 5 years, like whenever the last one was, you know. So have you got a crazy guitar collection as well? Like I said, what I love about guitars, they all tell stories, you know. That's what I really love about it, and majority of these all have a story, and that's what's important. That's why I've never really been a fan of relict guitars, because I like making my own story on it, you know, like with my Strat Plus, smashing into the radiator, and you know, the Gibson 345, when I unfortunately dropped it and it had those little teeth marks in it, and you know, it's all got little stories, all little dings. And on my telly I can remember something falling on it, or like with the Les Paul, I was like, oh, that's got a ding on it now, you know. And that's gonna be my memory now of that, doing this video, seeing that ding. And when you buy them, I'm not in that whole against relic or anything. I get it, why people like it, and though sometimes I think it goes overboard and it looks too artificial. It's like when you get jeans which are too ripped. But I like that nitro finish. I like a really thin finish, but then be able to do my own wear and tear on it, you know. And it's cool. Like with my looking over at my Taylor Acoustic there, like every time I play, I'm like, oh, some more pick wear come in there, you know. So yeah, I like the stories guitars tell, you know. Anyway, I've been rambling a lot. I hope you're very good and well. Thanks for your love and support, and I wish you all as well a great 2023 if you're watching this in 2023. If you're watching this in another year, let me know in the future, please. Alright, lots of love. I've been Mike Bradley, you've been you. I'll see you soon. Mike Bradley signing out. Bye.